Are all grey market dealers flippers, and what are the real true margins? Something that we get requested all the time, something we see in the comments all the time, and I've got to be honest with you, this is a really big question that I genuinely want to answer, and I'm sure you do too. We're all flippers. Now, what is a flipper? A flipper for me is somebody who buys something, or a private client will buy something from a dealership. So that could be a Rolex watch, a Patek, an Audemars, it could be a Porsche car, and they have no intention of keeping that. They are buying it to sell for a profit. In my opinion, that is a flipper. You know, let's look at the other side of the coin. You know, we have overheads, we have staff, we have bills to pay, we have rent, we have VAT to pay, we have corporation tax to pay. So does that mean anybody who sells a product, whether it be a handbag, a car, anything out there, are they all flippers? No. So this flipper terms are looking into the industry for the last few years. You've been in this industry for now, what, just over a year? For me, it's only been in the last 2 or 3 years. It's only because Rolex have created this waiting list. So then if you sell it on, you're a flipper. I was buying and selling watches before this waiting list was there. I was buying watches before this, you know, flipper term came along. And for me, we're a well-established business. You know, we've created a brand, we've created a business, we've got all the staff members now. You know, we've got all these extra costs that have to come off the bottom line. We are just business people that sell a product, and the product happens to be a Rolex.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, a business, you're catering for the people who can't get them from the ADs.
Yep.
So you're not exactly flipping them, are you? You're taking them off the flippers and then offering them out to other people who can't wait or...
Yeah, or don't want to do the dance or what have you. And you know, the thing is for us, it's like people who come into, if they see an opening, if people see an opening in life, they will rush into that opening, they will find a way of making money. I don't have a problem with that actually.
Yeah.
But you can't use the same terminology for business who is well established, who, you know, goes through all the struggles, all the pain, and say we're flippers, when actually we're just selling a product that we used to sell before the flipper industry actually came in. So for me, you know, I just want to answer that question. I think it's really important to put it out there. And for you guys in the comments who are watching this video, be like, well, I still think you're a flipper. Well, I'll tell you what it is, you set up a business, you go through all the ups and downs, and then you decide whether you'd be a flipper, because I'll guarantee you they will see a different side to the coin. It is not what people think, it's so much harder. And at the end of the day, you know, all we're doing is buying a product from somebody else who's actually gained more than us financially, and obviously then selling it for a profit.
And like every single business in the world make margins, don't they?
Exactly.
They're all flippers if that's the case.
Which leads on nicely to?
The margins.
Yeah.
And what are the true margins?
Yeah.
For a watch dealer.
You know, we've all got this sort of 10%, it's always bandied about, you know, 10% margin. So we will sell products that you know and I know where we might have a 30% margin. That doesn't mean to say that we make a clean 30%, does it? We know that. So there's some products we would actually sell and we've got a 4 or 5% margin, obviously a higher priced product. You know, the watch could be, I don't know, 60, 70,000 pounds, and we have like a 4 or 5% margin. So the real margins of any business, you know, we're all, people in business are there to make a profit. You know, let's first and foremost, we're there to change lives. We're there to, you know, give people like yourself, like everybody else that works within the company, an opportunity in a niche market to be able to learn about the industry and be passionate about it. You know, so the margins that we actually do, you know, there's a bottom line. And the bottom line is what people don't realise, and I'm not sure whether you guys do or not, we pay 20% VAT on all profits made. And it's just called the second-hand margin scheme, and this is the same for the car industry in the UK. So if, let's say, we made £1,000 on a watch, we've got 20% of that straight off the bottom line. That's got to be paid to HMRC. Then we've got the next thing, which is corporation tax. At the end of the year, we have about another 16% to pay. So that's a third of every profit. That's before your overheads, before your electricity, before your lights, before your rent, before your council tax. Then you've got to employ people, train them up, put your time into training people up. Then you've got to obviously facilitate all the shipping, all the extra that people don't see, all the insurance. Our insurance is extremely expensive, you know, and then you've got all the sort of the CCTV, everything else within the business, you know, and that's just to name a few, by the way, is a lot, isn't it? You know, we're talking massive overheads. So to be able to operate on the level that we do, you know, with like a sort of global reach now, you know, there's a lot of overheads that people don't see. And I don't think it's any business owners watching this out there, you know, to walk away with around 10% of a margin after everything's paid is unreasonable. You know, I'm sure for you guys out there that watch, for us to like buy a watch at, let's say, £30,000 and make £3,000, I'm sure if we said to them, but I want £30,000 of your money, I'm going to return you £3,000, that's no thanks. But then we'll actually have to have our margins off that for the overhead. So, you know, I think it's important out there that people to understand the real margins of a grey market deal, or we like to call ourselves independent retailers. You know, this, again, grey market term has come from, the ADs, and where we become like this grey market, this sort of dirty secret, these sort of dirty dealers, these people that trade in amongst. Well, I've got to tell you, we were trading well before this grey market ever started, before this term came, before the flipper term came. And for me, it's important to know out there are reputable people like us who run a business. We pay proper VAT, we pay our bills, we employ teams of staff and we train them up, and that is nothing what regards to a grey market or a flipper.
And in most cases as well, once everything's come off the final profit, it's the flippers who are making the most.
Yeah, they make the biggest margin. And they'll sell us down the road for like 50, 100 quid, won't they, to another dealer. And then they might have a bad experience. They're like, oh, we shouldn't have gone down there and so on and so forth. I've been took off my AD list, or, this, that and the other. And it's like, we're all crucial parts of the industry. The ADs need to sell watches to their clients. Then they need to feed the watches into the grey market. And then obviously they need deals like us where they can actually sell them for a profit or actually want to trade up for something else. So we're all integral parts of it, but we seem to have like the murky side, or the one that's sort of tarnished by people that say, actually, if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be like this. I used to buy and sell watches under list price when you could walk into your authorised dealer and buy a watch from your authorised dealer and say, can I have that watch out the window, please? And they go, yes, sir, there you go, and give you it. And you even got a discount back in the days. So, let's be real about it. I've been in this industry before this started, and I'll be in this industry after all this waitlist has gone, hopefully, and it's all cleaned up. But it's important for people to realise that. But there's plenty of business like us who just do it, the right way.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people have to realise is, without, grey market dealers, let's just call ourselves, where would they actually go to sell a watch? Where would they actually take their watch to sell? It's such a dangerous world out there. We all know the online selling problems, that are out there. And there's people just sit waiting for private individuals to sell a watch or put it out there, and they're massive targets on the backs. So where do they go? And if it wasn't for companies like us, the ADs probably, won't take them back, or certainly lowball them. We all know the price that they try and buy it back in. They've tried this new CPO system, again, buying in low, giving them dangling a little carrot saying, oh, we'll get you one of your new watch allocation, and then selling it at sort of like 40-50% on what they'd actually put it down at. I think it's just really important that, people realise out there that, we've been tarnished for the wrong reasons. I do honestly believe that. Yes, there are charlatans in every industry, but 90% or 89% of our guys in our industry, they're decent people. They actually run a proper business, and without us, how would they go on?
Yeah, you're paying the extra for the safety, aren't you?
Peace of mind.
Yeah, like we've had clients, I tried to sell it privately, wanted to meet me in a pub car park, all this and that.
It's very dangerous, they're expensive items, they're very small, they can easily be shipped out of the country to another country, and they're worth a lot of money. So, there's a price to pay. If you want trust, credibility, and peace of mind selling and also buying, which is why hopefully our clients shop with us, then there's a price to pay for that. And if you want somewhere cheap, then we're just not that company. We've worked far too hard to build our brand and our name. And I think it's very important that, if I was shopping, I was thinking of it like if I'm going out to buy something like a new car or whatever, where do I go shopping? Would I pay more than the cheapest person out there? Yes. Do I deal with people that you build that relationship with? Yes. And I go to somewhere where I think, yeah, he's making his margin, but I don't care, because if I have a problem, I can go back. I know next year they're going to be there, and I know the following year they're going to be there, and you pay for trust.
So what about the common misconception that because we get so many unworn brand new models, we're getting them out the back door of the AD?
Or stickered.
Yeah.
Are you getting them out the back door?
Yeah.
We get this all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
And again, a little bit frustrating for us. There's a divide between the authorised dealers and us, the grey market dealers. We know that, don't we? We see that. That's why they're told they're not allowed to sell their watches. You must not sell it, you must not flip it, even though they do. Then they're looking for somebody like us who's credible, so it doesn't ruin their relationship. So it's kind of like they're sold a product that they want to sell them for a profit, but they don't want to actually, Rolex don't want them to sell it to somebody like us. And people say, oh, you must get them out the back door, you get all these stickered watches. And yes, we are known for new or nearly new, I will say that. And we do get probably more stickered watches than most out there. But, again, years ago, before this sort of AD waiting list, I'd always pay more money for fully stickered watches because the investment market was there. And I could sell them for more money because obviously people buy them, stick them away. But to answer the question, we don't deal with authorised dealers direct. It's not something we've ever done. I've heard of it before I started in the industry, that some ADs did have relationships with dealers, but they weren't called grey market dealers then, where they would sell them the odd watch here and there, or certainly part exchanges. But they all seem to sell all their part exchanges now themselves, or certainly the CPO system, what have you. So it is slightly different, but to answer the question, no, we don't. We don't get them from authorised dealers, we know that. And yeah, it's kind of like, there's all these sort of misconceptions or myths about our industry. And you know, I mean, God, who wouldn't love? I mean, imagine having a relationship with the authorised dealer. Can I have like we have orders, sold orders? Can I have 3 Ghosts and 2 Batmans, please? And they just get delivered. I mean, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it? But life's not like that, unfortunately. We've got to fight to get our stock in, and we're competing with all the other dealers out there.
I think because you've like built a reputation as well for selling so many unworn.
Yeah.
People who've got unworn watches choose to come to you to sell them, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. You kind of like mirror what you sell, don't you? So we get so many like new watches coming to us. And I generally do think we pay more money than the dealers out there for stock, you know, when it comes to all the new stuff, because we've got the market for it, we've got the clients for it. You know, and there's one thing I'm very proud of. If we sell a watch as pre-owned or new, it is 1,000,000% one or the other. I'm really proud of that because, you know, that's why clients come to us and they know if they get a watch. Even when I first started, I was selling like 1980s and 1990s watches, old date, just which was the market then, by the way. You know, they'd still get the watch and they'd go, oh, it's like brand new. You know, I'd have it serviced, I'd have it polished, I'd have it all looking presentable. So, you know, I'm really proud of that, and we've got really high standards, you know, and obviously the team's fantastic. So, to answer the question, no, we don't. Would we like to? Yes. Is it ever going to happen? No.
So what about in the comments when people say, oh, they've rung up LWC and we've offered them a lowball offer?
Yeah, like on YouTube or something like that. I mean, that's something we never would do anyway. You'd know that because you deal with a lot of the buying and selling now, don't you? So that's something we definitely wouldn't do. We will give a fair market price, and I do generally believe we do that. Stock levels change all the time. So we'll be like, right, we want to buy X amount of Submariners, so we'll buy so many. But we're even at a point where we say to the client, actually, our normal buying price is X, but because we've got 5 of that model, we'll offer you a bit lower now, just so we can try and facilitate the sale for them. But, you know, if you're happy to wait, then we'll look at it in a couple of weeks when we've sold our stock and we can restock, you know, and I don't think that's fair. You're always going to get people saying you lowball, but I'll tell you one thing I'm proud of, we buy our stock. So a lot of guys out there, they do a lot of consignment, don't they? We know that. Nothing wrong in that. I've done consignment before when I've been growing the business. You only have so much money and you need to consign a lot of watches to be able to keep the stock going and build a business up. And I generally mean there's nothing wrong in that. You know, we get clients all the time, don't they, asking to consign watches for a bit more because I think they're used to dealing with other dealers where they can obviously consign off from like a binding price, which is, I think, too low, and then like a consign price, which obviously quite a lot more. So they're tempting that little carrot, you know, consign. And then, like again, I don't have a problem with that, but it's not the way we run our business. I would say 99.9% of our stock is bought, and you'd probably agree with that. The only odd one we'll do if it's a bit of a random sort of model or dial, or we're not too sure on the market, or we try to help a client out and so on and so forth. But, you know, we're very proud of the fact that, you know, we do buy all our stock. We will put our fishing rod in the lake, we'll buy it and we'll sit there. We analyse the market, you know, again, that's something that we're very proud of. We do a lot of research. And yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're willing to buy that watch, you know, put our money where our mouth is, which, you know, some dealers out there don't do.
Yeah, take the risk.
We're not a broker, we buy for stock. Simple as that, and I'm very proud of that. Don't forget to subscribe for more of this content.